Data processing operation. Invention and the Enterprise. However good the invention, when there is no business to drive its development, anything will boil down to nothing. By Sir Mix. The College of Computer Studies timeline. On the 1980 studies focuses on electronic data processing. Earlier to this date 1978 President Ferdinand Marcos issued presidential decree on people specializing on electronic data processing to be given civil service eligibility to steadfast development of computer-related field in the Philippines. University of Cebu, the first school to adopt computerization outside of National Capital Region with each EDP center at the basement of the university. In the 1990s studies on management of information systems pave ways to the development of system in the different facets of business operation. Many colleges and universities, private and government business adopted the computerization efforts, thus centralizing the studies on MIS. Microsoft, with each full-blown office productivity tools, introduces office automation with the principle that an office as a hub of the will in business operation. That such office should be strengthened and empowered. However, the said move was unpopular since the unifying effort does not necessarily implies that every business is the same. It is named later as Office Information System, a subset of the study of MIS. On the wake of 2013, a CHED memorandum was issued to conform the need of the current times to be compatible with the platforms underway, establishing the core studies. Computer Science, Information System, and Information Technology directives shades light to the present studies. Today's IT becomes the lingo of students taking the studies related to computerization and automation.
Okay. Mala.
The IT education subsets. Enterprise Resource Planning. Management Information System. Knowledge-Based System. Decision Support System. Expert System. Context of IT development process. Improvement of the product means improving its resources. The business resources, the model, financing, and its market. The human resources, the skills, and its creative domain. The stepwise resources, the algorithm that enhances productivity. The technology, communication that involves networking techniques and the database technology. Information technology aims to improve knowledge of the business, processes of the business. How do we define business? Business comes from the root word busy. Business is therefore an act of being busy. But why there are men who wanted to be busy? Being a businessman is not about acquiring wealth. It is developing community. Today business is painted on acquiring wealth, thus resulting to corrupt practices. Certain people wants to be busy because they cannot put their time to be idle. These people wants to be productive in life. The purpose of being busy is therefore being productive. Man can be productive if he has two things: effective on his or her task that he does, or assigned to; efficient on doing the task. Measure effectiveness and efficiency. We have this formula: EFS equals QLY over T. EFC equals QTY over T, where EFS is effectiveness, EFC is efficiency, QLY is quality, QTY is quantity. T is the period of time the task is done. For a successful businessman should be productive. Productivity equals effectiveness plus efficiency. Substituting the previous equation on effectiveness and efficiency, P equals QTY plus QLY over T. Interpreted therefore as, that when P is greater than 1 a businessman succeed, and when P is lesser than 1 a businessman failed.
Huh?
Every Filipino are encouraged to become entrepreneurs because good products are nothing when they are not financed and marketed. Thus, be your own boss. But wait, becoming one needs the understanding of the basic concepts of data processing operation.
No.
Data processing operation. 1. Recording. 2. Verifying. 3. Classifying. 4. Sorting. 5. Storing. 6. Calculating. 7. Retrieving. 8. Merging. 9. Duplicating. 10. Summarizing and reporting. 11. Feedback. Recording. Recording refers to the transfer of data onto some form of documents. It relates to the documentation of intermediate figures and facts and resulting from calculations. For example, in computing gross pay, the numbers of hours worked are multiplied by the hourly rate to arrive at gross pay. Gross pay is an intermediate step which is retained temporarily for late use. Verifying. Since recording is usually a manual operation, it is important that recorded data be carefully checked for any errors. This operation is called verifying. For example, punched card and type reports are reread for correctness. Duplicating. It is sometimes necessary or desirable to copy or duplicate data. This operation consists in reproducing data onto many forms or documents. Classifying. This operation separates data into various categories. Identifying or arranging items with like characteristics into groups or classes is called classifying. Sales data taken from a sales ticket may be classified by product sold, location of sales point, customer, sales clerk, or any other classification that the processing cycle may require. Classifying is usually done by shortened, predetermined method of abbreviation known as coding. The 3 types of codes used are: A. Numeric, a person's social security number or student ID number. B. Alphabetic grades as A. and C or names of persons, and C. Alphanumeric automobile license plate or course and year. Sorting arranging data in a specific order is called sorting. After the data are classified, it is usually necessary to arrange or rearrange them in a predetermined sequence to facilitate processing. Sorting is done in an alphabetic or a numeric order, and the data item which determines the sorting is called the key. Numeric sorting usually requires less time than alphabetic sorting in machine-based processing systems and is therefore generally used. This operation is familiar in everyday life. As an example, the names in a telephone book are sorted into alphabetical order. Employee records may be sorted according to employee's last name or ID number. Calculating. Arithmetic manipulation of the data is known as calculating. It is a crucial phase of data manipulation, because the outcome of this operation becomes part of the output. In the calculation of an employee's pay, for example, the total number of hours worked multiplied by the hourly wage rate would give the taxable gross earnings. Payroll deductions such as taxes, Medicare, union dues, and other deductions are then computed and subtracted from gross earnings to leave net or take-home earnings. Summarizing and reporting. In this operation, a collection of data is condensed and certain conclusions from the data are represented in a meaningful format. To be of value, data must often be condensed or sifted so that the resulting output reports will be clear, concise, and effective. Reducing masses of data to a more usable form is called summarizing. Merging. This operation takes two or more sets of data, all sets having been sorted by the same key, and puts them together to form a single sorted set of data. As an example, sales reports from different store branches are merged to form an overall sales report for the whole business establishment. Storing. Placing similar data into files for future references is storing. Storage is done by any of the following methods: A. Manual, such as in a ledger book. B. Electromechanical in the form of punched cards. And C. Electronic by magnetic tape, disk, and main memory of the computer. Data should be stored only if the value of having them in the future exceeds the storage cost. Retrieving. Recovering stored data and/or information when needed is the retrieving step. Retrieval methods range from searches made by file clerks to the use of quick-responding inquiry terminals that are connected directly to a computer. The computer, in turn, is connected directly to a mass storage device that contains the information. Feedback. Feedback is the comparison of the output, S, and the goal set in advance, and discrepancy is analyzed, corrected, and fed back to the proper stage in the processing operation. The feedback step permits business persons to follow up on essential information and to attain worthwhile goals.